Should be 10:29. 10:29. I'm early. 10:29. I'm early. Oh well. Makes a change to be early, doesn't it? Shut up. Makes a change to be early. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all well. Right, let's get going here. My palette is nearly time for a change. Yay, 10:30. Yippee-doo. Let's get a brush sorted out here a minute. My faithful old Sizo brush. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Just wanted my clippers here. Just wanted my clippers. Just gonna clip the hair off these brushes, which are a nuisance. Which are a nuisance. Go away. Go away. Right, where's my coffee? Yeah. Oh dear. Tuckered right out. Right, what brown are we using here? Get this figure for this. What brown are we using? It's flat earth, isn't it? Should be flat earth. Yeah. Flat brown. Okay. Good morning, one person. Flat brown. I'm looking for flat brown. Flat brown. There it is. Hopefully you'll have no issues seeing me today. Just going to finish off this British Airborne figure with a little bit of flat brown. Just finish the brown patterning on the Denison smock. Once I've done that, we'll go around in the green yellow and start highlighting all the not highlighting, but base coloring all the webbing and bags and stuff. That's what we'll do. I want to get these British Airborne to a point where I can give them a wash. Give them a wash of some of that light tone or something. Because all the civilians, they've all had a wash. They're all at highlighting stage. So I want to get them done. Or I'll get all these done actually. But I want to get those airborne figures to the same stage that I'm at with the civilians. quite busy yesterday. Yesterday I was struggling for room on this bench. Yesterday I put these two figures on. Where are the two? There you go. That's my tank commander. I put him on a flat grade base, like he's standing on sort of concrete or something like that. And this Wehrmacht staff officer, I couldn't think then. He's on like cobblestone base, which looks pretty good. So I'm sort of happy with him. Good morning, Frank. Picture is looking okay. Excellent. Tiswas. I remember that with Chris Tarrant. Yeah. And I used to have a guy had a dog, didn't he? Spit the dog or something. And he used to do this character. It's Bob Carroll, geez. He used to do this character, Hootie Elbow, who was very funny. I used to like him. What I also did yesterday, finished that truck driver. So he's been glued into the seat. So he's hopefully now he's in the digger that my mate has, the remote control digger. Hopefully he's gone into that by now. So when I do the next update video, I'll put up some pictures of the digger driver so you can see him finished. So he's gone. That was our sort of commission. He's gone. And what I also did yesterday is took this figure, very kindly sent to me by Ralph. What I've done is I've put reins on it, as you can see, reins on the donkey. And I also put a rifle on his back. So he's looking super nice. So I worked on him yesterday. My thought was, I'm really stuck for space here. My thought was, let's put him up there at the way. I prepped that figure, put the reins on the donkey, primed it all up, and then I looked at it and thought, you know what? If that was me in that position, I wouldn't go anywhere without my rifle. This guy should have a rifle. So I went and got him a rifle, put a rifle on his back, and that's pinned onto his back. I didn't want to just glue it onto his back because my thought was if I just glue it onto the back, okay, it'll look fine. But under sort of war game setting, if you like, tabletop setting, should I use this figure for gaming? You can almost guarantee the rifle will get knocked off. So I pinned it to his back and then added the strap. The strap and the reins for the mule are made out of foil pie tray. You get a foil pie tray and cut the foil out of it and smooth it, and you end up with stuff like that. Smooth it right down. And you get sheets of this, which are fantastic. You can cut all sorts out of these. You can bend it and it stays in position. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. So that was that. I'm very chuffed with that figure. Thank you very much, Ralph. Very pleased with that figure. And I think the other figure, three guys sat around the table, they all look equally nice. What I'm going to do, because it slightly slipped my mind, so forgive me, Frank, it slightly slipped my mind that sending the other figure to you. It slightly slipped my mind with what's been going on here. So what I'll do is tonight I'll make a video for the giveaway. There's one figure for the giveaway, so we'll give the folks a couple of days to enter that. Once we've done the draw for the giveaway, I'll send out the giveaway prize, and I'll also do at the same time, I'll send you your copy of that figure. Frank, very forgetful of me. I'm getting very forgetful these days. I don't know what it is. Quiet, quiet. It must be senior moments. I don't know what it is. Excuse me, just for a split second. I gotta answer this. I gotta message a second. Excuse me. It's a very important message. Good news indeed. Okay, now live on YouTube. Right, sorry for that, folks, but I had to answer that message. I'll tell you what it was. A friend of mine in the hospital, he had a stroke recently. Hopefully he comes home next week. Good news indeed. Good news indeed. So we wish him all the best. Yeah, so read your won't be much use to him in the US land. No, indeed not. No. Which they did in large numbers, landed on the beach and plowed inland, and yeah, that's when it all went to pieces for the Germans. They all thought the landing was going to be in the part of Calais, and it wasn't. Very good deception work by the Allies to fool them into thinking that. That's very good. All right, let's get on with this. This is actually Major Carlisle, this figure. This is a resin figure by Resicast. They're a Belgian company. So you can see that on that. Yeah, there you go. Just see that. I gotta say, there you go. I thought about buying a new webcam. So I looked at, I Googled it, what webcam or best webcams or whatever. This webcam that I'm using now, Logitech C920, rates very highly indeed. So if I bought something else, would it be any better than this? Probably not. Probably not. The only issue I really have with this is the autofocus. I don't think the autofocus is that great on it, to be honest with you. The audio is not brilliant either on the internal microphone. It's not as good as it could be. And I do have proper external microphone here, but there's no real room on the bench for it at present. So my bench is that cluttered at the moment, with pots of paint everywhere and miniatures everywhere. But it's good enough for today. The audio should be good enough for today anyway. Yeah, good news indeed about my mate coming home. Nobody likes to be stuck in a hospital. That's not good. Yeah. Yeah, we made a brolly for this figure, Major Carlisle. The hands are not great for holding the brolly, I have to say, but it's as good as we could sort of do it. Let's put a bit of brown here. I say we won the 1500 meters in the athletics world championships. The British guy won the 1500 meters. I was amazed. I didn't think we had any decent runners these days. What I was equally amazed at, I tell you something, was last week's survey that 63% of you said you would buy the miniatures with your last 50 pounds rather than have dinner. Amazing. Totally amazing. It's a strange world. I should do another survey, actually. I'll tell you, I'll do another survey. Let's move these two figures here a minute. Let's see if we do another survey. Engage with your audience. Start a poll. Okay. Ask a question. Do you believe we handled where's the question mark on this thing? Should be a question mark here somewhere. There it is. There you go. So that's a question for you. I've still been here actually writing questions for this upcoming quiz that I'm doing. There's a WI, so I've been writing questions for that. Here's a question for you. Interesting question. I didn't know. A survey with 2 people. Yeah. More people might join in. More people might join in. Here's a thing I learned the other day. I didn't know. In the UK, I was looking up when did health warnings on cigarette packets become mandatory in the UK, a legal requirement in the UK. I didn't know this. And I looked that up because it was for a question for the quiz, and it was 1971. As far back as that, 1971, it was mandatory in the United Kingdom to have health warnings on cigarette packets and tobacco products. I didn't think it was that far back. Totally amazing. It was on the side of the packets where the warning was to be put. And it read as follows: HM government health warning. Cigarettes can seriously damage your health. That's what it said. And that was a legal requirement in 1971. I didn't think it started as far back as that. And pictures on cigarette packets and tobacco products came in, well, in this country anyway, they came in 2008, which was Yeah, amazing. Amazing to sort of learn that. It's amazing what you learn when you sort of write questions for a quiz. It's totally amazing what you learn. Here's another one that I sort of learned. If a man in a tweed suit fell off the top of Big Ben in London, how long would it take before he hit the ground? Yeah, I think you're right. Advertising was sort of banned around that time, like adverts on TV and stuff like that. I think you're right. But I would never have said that smoking, health warnings on smoking products and tobacco and stuff was 1971. I would never have said it was that far back. Never. But you know, you live and learn. You live and learn. Yeah, how long would it take for a guy in a tweed suit to fall off the top of Big Ben? That was another question that I came up with. Um, the way to work this question out, or the answer to this question out, is that you need a little bit of general knowledge and a little bit of basic physics, and you can work it out. You don't need to know the speed the object falls, that doesn't come into it. What you do need to know is the height at which the object falls. That's important. All objects, irrespective of weight, size, shape, mass, volume, they all fall at the same rate. So what you need to know is the height from which the object falls. And you take that height, in the case of Big Ben, 306 feet, and you divide that by 16. The answer you get there, in our case, 306 divided by 16 is 19.75. You then have to find the square root of your answer. The square root of 19.75 being 4.4444. And that's your answer in seconds. So you can say roughly 4.5 seconds to fall 306 feet, which seems a lot and it seems very quick, but you've got to bear in mind the further you fall, the quicker you go. I think an object speeds up as it falls. I think it's 16 meters a second, I think, the rate at which it increases its speed as it falls, irrespective of size, shape, volume, mass. So our guy falls from the top of Big Ben, and it's about 4.5 seconds until impact, which was, yeah, something else I learned. Something else I learned how to work sort of that out. Here's my friendly in. Just answer that a second. Let's stick a thumb up here. Stick a thumb up. There you go. Yeah, so that was interesting. 4.5 seconds. So chances of you surviving a fall like that, absolutely nil, I would think, because I think it's all around the base of Big Ben. I think it's all concrete, isn't it? Hard surface. So you might possibly survive it if you fell on turf or something, I suppose. But that's a long way to fall, isn't it? 306 feet. But it was an interesting sort of question. There's lots of little questions like that in this quiz that I'm working out. So it should be fun. I've got to get 50 questions for this quiz. So it should be a good night. All being well, should be a good night. I like a good quiz. I like a good quiz. Yeah, I don't fancy falling off the top of Big Ben, that's for sure. That's a long way to fall, 306 feet. Here's another one. The man in the tweed suit, before he falls to his death from Big Ben, he smokes 40 cigarettes a day. Each cigarette is unfiltered and is 70 millimeters in length. How long a cigarette does he smoke in a year? That's another one I came up with. That should make them think a bit. It's well, it's quite easy. Should be quite easy to work out actually. 40 cigarettes a day, 70 millimeters, so 40 times 70. Then the answer you get there, you times it by 365. Then that answer you divide by 1,000, because 1,000 millimeters equal a meter. And that'll give you your answer in meters. If you want to get the answer in feet, then you divide by 3.2. So it shouldn't be no difficulty for them, really, if they're any good at maths, these people. The answer, if you want to know, actually, the answer, how long a cigarette does the guy smoke in a year, is 315 feet. That's a hell of a fag, isn't it? 315 feet. You'd need lungs like bellows to get a good draw on that, wouldn't you? Is that answer interesting? Because he dies in the fall anyway. Yes, he does, Frank. You're right. The answer, Frank, is totally irrelevant because he dies in the fall anyway. Yeah. I suppose I should do another question like that, a similar sort of question on the guy's funeral, shouldn't I? Oh, right, I could come up with that for a sort of maths question on his funeral. The size of the coffin compared to the size of the grave, etc., etc. Yeah. How much soil is removed from the grave? Yeah, something like that. Yes, I agree with you, Frank. The answer is actually totally irrelevant because he dies anyway. Yeah. But it's just a sort of, question to get these people thinking a bit. And to be honest with you, there's should be at the end of when I worked it all out, there should be 10 rounds, 5 questions each round, and one round sort of going to be on smoking related things. And I thought I would do that because it'd be interesting and it would make them think, but hopefully it would make them think about what they're doing to themselves. The people that do smoke, what they're doing to themselves. And do you know, I never would have realized this because I don't smoke. I never would have realized this. They put flavorings in tobacco to give it a flavor. One of them is urea, which is extracted from urine. And another one is the name I can't remember, so forgive me. I was looking at this online, reading this online. And I forget the name. It is extracted from whale vomit, believe it or not. They get a substance from whale vomit, and they use that in flavorings in tobacco. So if you smoke, just think about it. You're smoking pissy whale vomit, which I don't fancy very much. But there's another question. I can tell you these questions because there's only a couple of you watching, and nobody from the quiz, though it's likely to be in the quiz, is going to be watching this. How many chemicals are there in the average cigarette? How many chemicals would you think? Ambergris. That looks familiar, Ralph. That looks familiar, but it's whale vomit. Yeah, I couldn't believe that when I read it. I couldn't believe that. You're very knowledgeable, Ralph, to know that off the top of your head. Very good. But here's another one. Yeah. How many chemicals are in a cigarette or in tobacco? Oh, how many known chemicals thus far that they've identified? I was amazed. The answer was 7,000. 7,000 different chemicals in tobacco. 69, I think it was either 69 or 70. It varied depending on which site you looked at. It's either 69 or 70. We'll go with 69. 69 of these are sort of carcinogenic and known to be toxic to whoever smokes. It's amazing the stuff I was learning about this. Yeah, carcinogenic, yeah. Yeah, amazing. And there's probably a whole load of chemicals in tobacco they haven't even identified yet. Really? Why is it worth a fortune, Ralph? Why is it worth a fortune? But it stinks like hell. I tell you, to be honest with you, I wouldn't know it if I saw it. I wouldn't know it. What's it look like? Ambergris. What's it look like? What's it look like? I'm interested. I'll go down the beach and have a look. And what do you do with it if you find it? What do you do with it? You just scoop it up in a bag? Who do you sell it to? You're fascinating. Fascinating. Whale vomit. Yeah. All we seem to get on our beach here is cuttlefish. Is it really? A big pellet of lard. Wowee. I shall go down the beach and look for this stuff now. Ambergris. It looks like a big pellet of lard. Wowee. What did you learn? I shall go down our beach and look for it. The only thing I can find on our beach nowadays is cuttlefish. We do get a lot of cuttlefish. I used to do a lot of metal detecting on beaches. Something I did used to do a lot of. But I don't have the physicality for that now, which is a shame really, because I love doing it. And I have to say, was very good at it. But now I know what ambergris looks like. Fantastic. Hey folks, let's go looking for whale puke. Yeah, incredible. It's incredible what you learn just talking to people. Yeah, I didn't know it was in perfume either. Yeah. Looks like a pellet of lard. Wowee. Incredible. I remember when I was stop detecting at one point, we had a ship that lost some containers. There's all this kids' Lego washing up on the beaches. Loads of Lego everywhere. Happy days, folks. Happy days. Quiet. Metal detecting is such a wonderful hobby. Absolutely wonderful hobby. It's been estimated, I can well believe it, there are more coins in the ground than in circulation. Which makes you think, doesn't it? Some of the stuff you can find that you're detecting is wonderful. I used to like going into my local supermarket with a handful of beach money. I just recovered, real scabby money. But they're legally obliged to accept it because it's the coinage of the realm. Yeah, I'm going to put a bit of green up there in a minute, I think. Right, let's put a little bit of brown along here. Yeah, it's a wonderful hobby. I'm not really able to do it now. But I would like to find somebody that's really interested in doing this, metal detecting, because I still have the knowledge up there. I still have all the knowledge. I'm just not physically in a position to do it. I would like my knowledge into them. That's what I'd like to do. Because I could make them very successful at this business. Guy come up to me one Sunday evening. You got any more tea here? Oh yeah. Guy come up to me one Sunday evening. I was on a beach called Cannock Sands, which is right down tip end of Cornwall. Nice beach, actually. Not a big beach, but a nice beach. And I was just sort of doing what I was doing, and this guy appeared. I didn't know who he was. I still don't know who he was. And he said to me, turn that off. Can I tell you something? I said, sure, yeah, go ahead. He said, when we see you, meaning other detectives, he said, when we see you, we'll turn around and go home. Because we know there'll be nothing here. Well, it was sort of a feather in my cap, I guess, if you like. That people thought I was that proficient in what I did that they would go home and not even bother to search the beach. Yeah, a bit of a feather in my cap. I don't know who the guy was, but if you actually sat down, if you saw other people, as you would, you'd see other people using detectors on beaches and stuff. If you actually sat down and watched them, some of them were quite good, I have to say, at what they were doing. But I never saw anybody, let's put some water in this pallet. I never saw anybody that was doing the job 100% properly. They all were leaving something to be desired. Like they had poor pair of headphones, or their search pattern was not good, or they were searching the wrong area. You know, that I don't think I ever saw anybody that was doing the job 100% correctly. Which you need to do. You need to get everything on your side to make finding what you want to find easier. But it's a really enjoyable pastime, and can be quite lucrative as well if you know where to look and what you're looking for. I mean, I reached a point with beaches, certainly. I could look at a beach, and I could not set foot on it, and I would go away, I would leave it. I wouldn't even attempt to search on a beach. I would just look at it and say, that's no good. Because you learn where the stuff is likely to be on a beach. You learn, this beach today has too much sand on it. There's no point in searching, because there's no point in searching in like 4 foot of sand. So you say, right, well, I'll go to another beach, or I'll go to the pub or something. I'll leave it. It's different in summertime. Summertime, you just, in a lot of cases, you're just going where the people have been sitting, and you're hoovering up what they've dropped down. I mean, summertime, I would do 2 beaches a day in the summertime when I was doing it. You'd get up early morning, and I'd get on the bike. I used to ride a motorcycle in those days, and I'd strap the detector to the side of the bike, and I'd go to whatever beach I was going to search before the people got there, and I would search it and collect whatever I collected. Then I'd go home, maybe have a cup of tea, something to eat, probably go to bed then for a few hours, and then get ready for the evening when everybody's gone home. Then I'd do another beach. Then I used to have a little sort of like rota system, and I would do all the beaches in turn. And like I say, Kennock Sands, which is right down Tip Endicott, I would do that every Sunday evening. I would do that. Wintertime is different because you're looking at storms and storm beaches, so you're constantly looking at the weather and tides and stuff, and hoping for decent storms to get rid of the sand on the beaches, so you can get down to the bottom of the beach where the goodies are. That's what you're looking for. Every beach is different. Every beach has a different bottom. Some beaches have peat bottom. Some have like slate, rocky bottom. Some have mineralized stones, which will play hell with a metal detector. You've got to have the right machine to cope with the stones. There's all sorts of things to learn, but it's fascinating. Fascinating indeed. I'd enjoyed it very much. And to be honest with you, it's nice just being on a motorcycle early morning, just putting along on a motorcycle early morning. I used to like that. I'm going to put a bit of brown there on this one. I think that's this guy just about done, folks. And we'll get on with some yellow-green. Yeah, happy days indeed. I enjoy it very much. I'll put a little bit of green up there on the top of his shoulder, I think. The other day, because I got khaki hands now, the cup I use for my water, I dropped in the sink and smashed it. So I'm having to use this now. Look what it's got on it. That tells you how old it is. Robertson's jam. Right, military green. Here we go. Robertson's jam. Yeah, that's going back a bit. You wouldn't be allowed to show that now on TV and stuff. Right, a little bit of military green on this guy's shoulder. And that's this guy done. Just, I don't like to see too much of this khaki gray showing. If you look at a real Denison smock, yeah, khaki gray is there, but it seems to be more brown and military green. So I don't like too much of this khaki gray showing. And I'll put a little bit of brown on his collar, I think, just to yeah, it's not the best. Autofocus on this camera for sure. No, but it's a pretty good camera. And like I said earlier, it rates quite highly when you look online at which camera webcam. It rates very highly, the Logitech C920. But I just damn it, didn't mean green and brown. I just don't care hugely for the autofocus on it. So I looked at it and thought, well, if I bought another webcam, it probably wouldn't give me any better results than I'm getting now. But Hopefully when we use the autofocus now, folks, you're not getting a lot of noise with it. Hopefully it's all right, and hopefully the audio is good enough for you to hear what I'm upon. So it's trying, but it's not brilliant. Let's try this. Almost. Oh, there you go. What's that? I thought you did buy a new webcam. What was it I was showing a couple of days ago? That was a light box I was showing a couple of days ago. I bought the light box for the photography of the miniatures, which I have to say is working out excellently. I'm very, very pleased with the light box. It's a like people were saying in the tutorials I was watching on YouTube. It's a combination of using the light box and then something like Photoshop on your PC to edit the photographs that you've taken in the light box. And I found that to be absolutely right. You photograph them in the light box and get as good a result as you can do in the light box. Put them on your laptop, and then you can sort of edit them and up the quality and stuff. Did you have a video demonstrating how the camera focused? No, I don't recall that. But then I could be forgetting what I've done. Yeah. No, it's quite a highly rated camera. You know, you type in on Google or something, the best webcam or the 10 best webcams or whatever. And more often than not, you'll see the Logitech C920 in there, rated. So, you know, it is quite highly thought of. But I do recommend, if you look at videos on the C920, people do recommend getting an external microphone to go with it, which I've got and which works well, but I've just got no room on the bench for it. The bench is just so cramped. Excuse me a second, that's the postman. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Excuse me for that. That was the postman. He just bought me a little package, so we will open it immediately. If I can. I know what it is. I know what it is. I know what it is. If I order two the same, then no, it's a 3. Okay. Yeah, you just about see that. It's in a grayish sort of package. Well, you can see that anyway. There you go. A 1933 Hello Mark 63. Yeah, 2 days ago, comparison video and a shout out. You were holding up your prescriptions to the camera and it was able to focus accurately. Yeah, sorry, you're right. Yeah, I've forgotten that. You're right. I was holding up my prescriptions just to tell you how it was focusing. Because I had to run the camera, I've got one sort of program. And to record stuff, I had another program. This is different program again. I'm trying out sort of different stuff, but it does. It's working much better now, and I think Mark63. Hello, nice to see you. It's not focusing with that horrible noise now. It seems to be very, very quiet when it focuses. I can see it moving now, focusing and stuff. See if I do that. There you go. Look. And it seems to be very quiet now. It's focusing, which is great. Before it made a ratchety sort of sound, which is the problem we had last week. So obviously the sort of software that I was using wasn't that great. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is use some of that. If you can see that. Green yellow for the webbing and medical bags and stuff like that. We'll get that painted in this stuff. Yes, you're right. I'd forgotten about I did that. Another senior moment. I'm forgetting stuff. It's not good forgetting stuff all the time. I don't know why I'm forgetting stuff all the time. Here we go. Give him a nice green medical bag. I like these figures by Masterbox. They're nice. They do look nice when you've got them done. As I've said to you before, though, as model makers and kit bashers and wargamers, we are spoilt rotten these days. We are very, very fortunate with the kits that are available, with the figures that are available. I mean, you can do whatever, more or less whatever period you want in whatever scale you want. Very, very fortunate. When you think back to when we started out and the stuff that we, basic stuff that we had, basically it was like Airfix or nothing. Here we go. This guy's got 2 medics bags on him. He's expecting a lot of wounded, this guy. I've been thinking also, when I go into town, next, will be in the week, I'll go into town. I'm going to get some wallpaper paste. Because I'm going to have a go at this parachute business. You know, I was saying I want a few parachute guys. So I've got the hoop to get the balloon the right size. to make the parachute. So when I go in town, I'm going to get some wallpaper paste. I've got balloons here, and I'm going to see if I can make my first parachute for these guys. Obviously, I'm going to have to convert some figures to go on these parachutes. But that shouldn't be too difficult. I'm sure I got figures here that I can use for that. Yeah, I don't know why I developed such a liking for British Airborne. I don't know. It's just something I've come to find very, very interesting. I have a relative that was in the movie A Bridge Too Far. He had a bit in that. There you go. Looks a little bit bright, but it'll be toned down a bit with a wash. So I'll do all the bags first on these figures. Then what I'll do is I'll go back round and do all the straps with a finer brush, with my number 5 brush. Yeah, to be honest with you, going back to them comparison figures, I thought the figures were as good as one another, to be honest with you. Hello, Anglo Watt. Nice to see you. You are late. Where have you been? Where have you been? Yeah, I thought the figures, to be honest with you, were as good as one another. Really. And like I said in previous videos, it's just 2 different ways of reaching the same result, isn't it, with the details? You either mold the details into the figure when you manufacture it, or you make a bit more basic figure and you produce a sheet of decals for the details. But when all said and done, I think they look as good as one another. I gotta be honest with you, I prefer the detail to be molded into the figure rather than decals, simply because with decals you could make a pig's ear of decals like I did with the Iron Cross. It flipped off the end of the tweezers like a dog, flea off a dog's back, and it was gone. Now, I got plenty more of them here on sheets of decals, so I could have redone it. But if that's all you've got, then you've lost it, or you make a pig's ear of the decal and crumple it up or whatever. That's your detail on that figure gone. Whereas if the detail is molded in, all you've got to do is just paint it and it's done. So I prefer molded figures for that reason. Simply you can make a pig's ear of decals, and then it's you've lost your decal and you've lost your detail on the figure. But I guess it's just how the manufacturer feels about producing their figures how they want to do it. But it's a nice figure nonetheless, that tank commander. But it's sort of, I just thought really, I just thought saying the Tamiya figure wasn't quite as good as the ICM figure because of the lack of detailing. I thought, well, you're just doing a bit of a disservice to Tamiya, really. And the only way to really judge these figures is to make two of them and compare them side by side. When they're done, then you can say which is better and which is sort of not, which is what we did. But it sidetracked me a bit from these medics and civilians. Then I got sidetracked again yesterday with the guy on the donkey. We'll get there. We'll get there. You know what I'm like, a slow painter. Such is life. Never rush, folks. It's actually my family motto. It's actually Nec cito nec timide. Neither swiftly, neither slowly. That's on my family sort of crest, if you like. Nec cito nec timide. Neither swiftly, neither slowly. All in good time. Which I totally believe in. Right, better do the gaiters, I suppose. I missed the gaiters on that last guy. I'll do them in a second. Alright, where's me water? Where's me water? This, if you're wondering, this is just pure water. Just clean, filtered water. And I just put a drop or two on the palette, and I can dip my brush in the sort of bubble of water and thin the paint as I need it. Because there's all sorts of crap in tap water. So just try and use filtered water. Yeah, we're very lucky with the choice of figures we got as wargamers. I mean, I was watching, who was I watching last night? The miniature painter last night I was watching. And he was talking about some Calpe miniatures, some metal Calpe miniatures that he had there. For metal figures, I'm not really one for metal figures, but they did look superb, I have to say. Yeah, absolutely excellent. We are very lucky. Here we go. My fingers are behaving quite well today. It's nice to see. This thing the miniature is on, if you're interested in, is a demijohn cork from a demijohn. And there's a couple of spikes of wire going up into the feet of this guy, or one into the foot, one into the knee, and it's just pushed into the demijohn. If the figure that I'm doing, like an Airfix figure, it has a plastic base on it, well, then I turn the cork up the other way, and it's got a, you see that, there you go, plastic chip on it, because I always blue tack the things to the cork, and blue tack will do not stick to cork. So I put these chips on there, and then the blue tack will stick to the chip. Yeah, I don't know why blue tack doesn't like stick to cork, but it surely doesn't. Here we go. That's the gaiters done on this guy. That's his haversack done, or his medic's bag done. Yeah, it's starting to look the real deal now. Right, let's get the gaiters done on this guy. I've still got the P-Dot camo guy to do. This guy. Still got him to do. So must get on and do him when I 5 minutes. I'll have to make a tank before long, won't I? Doing all these Waffen SS tank commanders. I'm going to have to make a tank or something. Never traveled to Deutsche Bahn. Wilson said maybe 2 sort of San Diego, 2 January winter long coats. Look amazing. 132, yeah. 54mm figs, yeah. Obviously, Airfix would go back to the more softer and durable polyplastic with the figures. I've got mountains of them here, those Airfix soft polyplastic figures. I've got bags of the things, huge bags of the things I've got. So, in fact, I've got so many now, I don't buy them now. I don't buy them because I've got far and away more than I need. German infantry, British paratroopers, Japanese infantry, and Afrika Korps. For sort of wargaming, they're more than acceptable, more than acceptable. And like I've said to you before, with the Airfix figures, they say 132. I don't believe they are. I believe the 135, because if you compare the two, 132 and 135, they're more or less the same. I think if you want a true 132 figure, you want to look at the Matchbox plastic figures. They're bigger again. I think they're more 132, and the Airfix are 135. That's why I'm mixing the two together, because it works. There's no problem with it. But I don't use. I've got some of the Matchbox figures here, but I don't use them because they are too big when you compare the Matchbox to say like a Masterbox figure, you can really notice the difference. It's too much. But you can get away with the Airfix figures, no problem. Mixing them with Masterbox and Tamiya and so on and so forth, it's not a problem. But they produce some nice figures. I like the German ski troops. I like. They're very nice. Think how many of these things must have been made, these Airfix figures. They must have made them in their absolute millions. They must have made them in their millions. I mean, you just have to, God. You just have to look on eBay to see how easy they are to obtain, these old Airfix figures. And one thing I do like about them, they seem to stand the test of time very well. Like the 1/72nd scale figures, you can find them from the 60s and 70s. They've gone brittle. They've gone brittle, and you just snap them in your fingers. I had a lot of, a while back, I had a lot of Grenadier Guards figures. You know, I wanted the Guards color party. Unfortunately, I bought a bag, and every single one had gone brittle. They were just, you could just snap them into bits. They're totally gone. But you don't seem to really get that with the large figures, the 54mm figures. They seem to stand the test of time much better for some reason. Whether it's just that they're bigger and they're more solid, I don't know. Or whether they're just a better quality, I don't know. You do find with some of them, you know, they've had a lot of wear and tear, and they've been played with a lot, and you get tips off rifles missing and stuff like that. But by and large, they don't bust up like the 1/72nd scale figures, which is good. Which is good. I suppose the only real drawback with this scale of figure is, whereas wargaming is concerned, if you're going to do any major sort of conflict or battle, you need a hell of a lot of space. Which obviously you don't need with much smaller scales. But this is, I do enjoy this scale very much. That's not to say I won't do other scales, because I will. I mean, I will go back to the Napoleonics in 1/72nd scale, because I want to keep adding to that project. You know, I've not given it up entirely. I just needed a break from it because I'd painted so many 1/72nd scale figures, and I was so sick of Prussian blue, painting Prussian blue. Did you try Mr. Matchbox frogs? Look a bit clumsy. Yeah, you're right. Yes, you're right. They are very big, Matchbox figures, and I would agree with that. They look very clumsy. Yeah, and for me, they're too big. They're too big. Yeah, but I've got a few boxes here just for sort of collectability purposes. But there's no way I'd ever paint them or use them because they are, like you say, they're just too big. But the Airfix figures, yeah, I don't consider them 132. I consider them 135, and they're ideal for this. And as you've seen in previous videos, the 135 kit figures and the Airfix figures, they go together very well. They look very good together. Did you try to get your cam online? Well, yeah, we're online now. Oh, to Ralph, did you get your cam online? I thought you were talking to me. So I'm going dotty. Don't worry about it. I'm going dotty. Another senior moment, of which I have many. Damn it, I was going to do black on his boot, not green. Come on, Karen. So some black here a minute. I just went over his boot with the green. Yeah. There you go, that's his gaiters done. Right, let's get on with this one. Just his pistol pouch to do his gaiters. Yeah, really starting to look like British Airborne now. Yeah, I'm going to have to find some figures now for some parachutists. Or at least something that I can convert into a guy holding a parachute. Let's see what we got here on the shelf. Should have something here, surely. Yeah. How long have we been going with this? 1 hour and 23 minutes. Gosh, how time goes. Yeah. This is not a bad color to work with, actually. Green Yellow 881 by Vallejo. As recommended by Masterbox for these figures. Right, gone over the edge of that gaiter, but not to worry, we can always correct it in a minute. Never worry if you make a mistake. Don't worry about it. You can always go over it. It's nothing that can't be put right, you know? Nothing that can't be put right. Whatever, I always find, you know, whatever problem you've got model making, there's always a solution if you think about it. You can always find a solution to something if you think about it. whether that's something you're building, something you're painting, you know. You can always find a solution to it. Come on. There you go. There you go. That's not too bad, actually. There you go. That's another guy done. What's this guy? Guy with his arm in a sling. Isn't it funny how that just doesn't quite want to focus for some reason? Ah. Yeah. Italian paratroopers is a 3-color European countermeasure pattern for Telluride with the 4.7. Oh, that'd be interesting to see. I'd like to see them. Italian paratroopers. Right, Telluride. I got a feeling, you know, Frank, I got a feeling I got a pack of them here somewhere. Italian paratroopers. I look forward to seeing them, see how you get on with them. If they're up to your usual standard, they should be very nice. You always do. You always do nice work. That's what I like about this group, you know, our community. There is just so much talent about for painting these things. It's fantastic. You are clever people. Clever people indeed. Yeah. Yeah, these are going to look quite nice, these figures. I've got plenty more British Airborne to do, different things. But these are the last I'm going to do for a while, just to have a break from the Denison smocks, really. There you go. There you go. That's, oh, you can see that green gators on this guy. So that's another one done. How many more we got left here? We got one. Excuse me for putting my arm in front, yeah. Okay. 4. Major Carlisle makes 5. So that's 5 we've got. Okay. Do these 5, I think, and then we might retire for a spot of luncheon. It's the Denison smocks on these things that take the time, really. Once you get through them, it's not too bad. 12 o'clock. Thank you. Always got to keep an eye out for air bubbles as well. Don't want to leave any air bubbles in the finish. Yeah. Yeah, these are going to look very nice, I think, these figures. Try and get as much done as we can over the weekend, I think. These should have been finished ages ago, actually. But what the hell? What the hell? Yeah, be careful there not to get it on his sleeve. So you're all wise people now. You all know how long it takes to fall off a Big Ben, don't you? 4.5 seconds. There or thereabouts. That's after you smoked your 315-foot cigarette. That's probably why he fell off the Big Ben, nicotine poisoning. He didn't know where the hell he was. Chindits. That's something, isn't it? It's a lot of work, but coming along nicely. They are a lot of work. I totally agree with you. You're painting these figures. They are a lot of work, but I get a real buzz out of seeing the end result. So that's why I sort of do it, because I love the end result. They just look so good. The end result just looks so nice. That's so why I do it. That's a thought, isn't it? Chindits. I've never seen anything to do with Chindits. Now you mention it. Yeah, I go what? College gave me. There's American Civil War, ICM. ICM figures are very good. I've got to say to you, ICM figures are excellent. The detailing on them is superb. My father was a Chindit. Well, there's something. Unfortunately, as far as the Chindits goes, unfortunately, the Japs got all Wingate, didn't they? The Japs got him. He was killed, unfortunately, which is a very sad thing. But a very dangerous job. Very dangerous job in the Chindits. So yeah, I take my hat off to all those types of people, Chindits and special forces and all that. I take my hat off to all of them. Cockle show heroes and people like that, marvelous people. I got the film here somewhere, Cockle Show Heroes, with Trevor Howard, etc., etc. Good film. But I'm a great one for old movies. I like the old movies. Right, to the gators on this guy. Trevor Howard, a very good actor. Yeah, looking good. Gonna look good, you lot. How's the survey doing? Where's the survey here a minute? Do you believe we landed on the moon? 5 votes, 100%. Everybody believes we landed on the moon. What is the thing? I can't believe that. Amazing. No, I can't believe that one, I'm afraid. No, there are too many anomalies. Too many anomalies to make that a viable proposition for me. I couldn't believe you know what I couldn't believe the other day? It was totally amazing the other day. Excuse me just a second. There we go. That's not too bad. We will settle for that, I think. It came up on, I think it was Google, it came up on that India had landed a probe on the moon. I couldn't believe that India had landed a probe on the moon. I mean, honestly, folks, the poverty there is in India is startling. And yet they're spending money sending probes to the moon. Probably paid for by the aid that we're giving them. You know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah, the Burma campaign was rough. You're right. You're absolutely right. If my dad worked at Wingate and spoke to him once, he even decided to live in the road called Wingate Crescent where I was born. Really? We'll just keep matching some of the Talarai and other companies. The Burma campaign was rough. The conditions were pure hell. Absolutely right they were. Absolutely right. Tell them about the Anzacs in Asia. No, there is a lot. You're right. There is a lot of films on D-Day. You're right. Like on The Longest Day and stuff, which we were talking about the other week, The Longest Day film. And I was Like I said to Frank and one or two others, I was disappointed with the color version of The Longest Day. Um, it wasn't good, to my mind. It wasn't good. I wish they would do it again now with modern technology. I'm sure they could do a very good job of it now with modern technology. Because it's a good film. It's a good film. Littered with big stars of the day. A very enjoyable film. Which is where you see the guy on the donkey. The German on the donkey. Yeah, I look forward very much to getting some paint on that guy. He should look super nice. Very nice figure, actually. How many we got left after this? We've got 3 left after this. That shouldn't take very long. Then we will adjourn for a spot of luncheon. I'm actually getting a bit peckish now. Must be bird flu or something. It's a bit awkward because they're kneeling down, so it makes painting these gaiters a bit awkward. I will continue to paint these figures for as long as possible, as I'm sort of noticing sometimes now, and I'm holding these figures, I'm starting to shake somewhat, which is not good. But I will continue to paint these as long as possible. What else am I going to do anyway? What else am I going to do? There we go. Do his pistol holster. Yeah, this is quite a nice color to work with, actually, this. Yellow green. Don't dislike working with this. Here you go. Starting to look the real deal. Oh, really? You didn't do much on Oppenheimer? Wow. Three weeks ago. Yeah. Meredith Marauders was a good Burma movie. Band of Brothers, Karen. No, I haven't watched that, Ralph. I haven't watched that. I imagine it would be very good. I imagine it would be very good. Band of Brothers. I wonder if that's on DVD. I can get it on DVD. Band of Brothers. Give it a go. It's a classic. Right. Okay, I'll give that a go. I'll see if I can get it on DVD. What we got here? Major Carlisle. Band of Brothers. Right, I'll look out for that on DVD, Ralph. Tell you one series I saw recently I liked. I was quite pleased to have seen. That was Enemy at the Door, about the German occupation of the Channel Islands. That was quite a good series. But you're going back to, was it late 70s, early 80s, I think. But a very enjoyable series. Simon Cadell in it, if I remember rightly. Yeah, I like sort of drama programs on the war and stuff. It's very good. Escapism, that's what it is, folks. Escapism. Escape from reality. Mind I suppose if you want real escapism, Band of Brothers is very good and historically correct. I will give it a go, Band of Brothers. Now it's been recommended. I will give it a go. I suppose I was going to say, I suppose if you want real escapism, you want a little Planet of the Apes or something, don't you? That's real escapism, isn't it? Planet of the Apes. Das Boot. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I got that here. It's out on DVD. You can get the director's cut of Das Boot. Yeah, Das Boot. Very good. Yeah, these are going to look spankingly nice. Spankingly nice, Major Carlisle. Damn it. Damn it. Smudged it with my hand, folks. Gotta be careful here. Shit. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Yeah, God, my stomach's rumbling. I need some luncheon for sure. Got a bit of that on his tunic. That's a nuisance. That's a nuisance. Have to hold him upside down. Damn it, Karen. You're smudging it, Karen. Bit awkward sometimes to get in places. There you go. Right, got a bit on his tunic, didn't I? Got a bit on his tunic. Watch the air bubbles, for God's sakes, Karen. You don't want to leave air bubbles in it. Right. Right, go over that brown a bit, because I've got a bit of yellow-green on his tunic. Can't have that. Military green. Can't make mistakes. Here we go. Just go over that gaiter again, I think. That gaiter is a little bit poorly done. Right, what have we got left? 2 left. No bags on them. Just 1 gaiter each. Right, where's me green? Where's me green? Ah, that guy's got a pack on his back. That's no problem. So I've got 2 gaiters and a pack to do, and we'll stop for lunch. I think I might redo this palette after lunch as well. It's getting a bit shitty. Stalingrad. I got that film here. I got Stalingrad. Quite an enjoyable film, Stalingrad. Yeah, Karen immediately gets green on the black of his boot. Well done, Karen. Starting to shake again. Starting to shake again. It's not good. It's not good. All right, so there's no need to do the well, you can just see the bottom of his gaiter here because he's got a strapping on his leg, this fella. Obviously busted his leg, this guy. Glider pilot. So another thing we got to do here at some point is our Horsa glider. That's a bloody great model. I don't know where I'm going to put that when it's done it. I have to hang it from the ceiling or something. Yeah, you can just see the bottom of his gaiter there. Because he's busted his leg, this guy. There you go. What a nice figure. This is basically the same figure, but I've just done it without a hat or any helmet. And he's got a pack on his back. So I had 2 packs of these figures, so I just thought I would change some of the figures around for a bit of variety, rather than keep the figures all exactly the same. Try and vary them around a bit. Well, it's been a very enjoyable painting session, I have to say. What I'll do tonight is I'll make a video for the giveaway tonight. Because we got that 3D printed figure to give away, kindly donated by Ralph. They are lovely figures, I gotta say. Very enjoyable to work on yesterday. And no doubt will look very nice when painted, I'm sure. It's amazing the black on the boots always get rubbed off as you're working on these figures and you have to go over it. This one's no exception. But nothing that can't be done, nothing that can't be put right. Right, just do this pack a minute. Being mindful not to get the green on his tunic. Here we go. Looking good. So everybody's in favor of the moon landings then. You're still 100%. Yeah. Amazing. I'm amazed. I'm amazed that not one of you thinks it's a hoax. There we go. There you go. One green backpack and some green gaiters on it. Nice figures. Nice figures. Right. We've been here just 2 hours. So I'm going to go and get some luncheon because I'm starving hungry. I'm starving hungry. Now I'm going to sort this palette out because this palette's... Actually, what I'm going to do is change from this and go back to the chocolate box palette. That's what I'm going to do. This is quite a good palette, though. It's 3D printed, but it's quite a good palette. I have to say, one of the best palettes I've used. Oh, good morning. Hello, hope you're well. You're welcome, Ralph. You're welcome. I will do quickly. Just for my friend in Germany, I will do quickly. Because I know he likes to see Ely Falcones for a while, doesn't he? He likes to see you, doesn't he? What? But don't say what. I've told you before. Our friend in Germany likes to see you. Yeah. Have you got anything to say to people? No, not really. Nothing at all. No. Oh, yeah, I'm going to say goodbye or have a nice weekend or whatever. Oh, okay. Nice to see you, everybody. I hope you all have a nice weekend and enjoy yourselves. Thank you and goodbye. There, that didn't hurt, did it? No. You want to watch a movie later? Yeah. What do you want to watch? I don't mind. You don't mind? No. Suppose you want tea and cookies with it and all the trimmings? Yeah. I like cookies. Yeah, I know you do. You're getting through enough, don't you? Yeah. Don't do that. Right. We can turn this off now. Yeah. You need lunch. We do need lunch. You're quite right. Say goodbye. Goodbye. Right. Thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for your subscriptions, etc., etc., etc. We'll do a video tonight for the giveaway. So, all being well. 14% now say no on the poll. 86% are in favor of the moon landings. 14% say no. I haven't voted, so I'll vote. Well, I'm not entitled to vote. So anyway, 86 in favor, 14 against. There you have it, end poll. There you go. Do you believe we landed on the moon? Yes, 85%. No, 14%. 1% abstained. I don't know. Complete poll, 7 votes. There you go. Okay. Nice to see you. See you later. Have a nice week.